Good, happy Monday morning, March 2nd, 2020. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Monday morning, so let's begin. First step person being tested for coronavirus in New Hampshire. Fourth person tested in New Hampshire. 3 previous returned negative. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
At Beltates, customers will find everything they need for a building project. The brand names you trust to perform. And with a fleet of over 50 delivery vehicles, we deliver when and where our customers need them. Beltates Building Products. 9 locations throughout New Hampshire and Massachusetts.
New Hampshire health officials say the person who is being tested for COVID-19 or the coronavirus became ill within 14 days of returning home from Italy, a country that has seen a recent spike in virus cases.
They are not sick enough to be in a hospital, so they are isolated at home and out of the public while we initiate testing. And so we hope to have some quick answers here in the coming day or so.
Currently, there are no confirmed cases of COVID-19 in New Hampshire, but officials add there are steps that can be taken to prevent a potential spread.
If they are feeling ill, certainly if they have a fever or any kind of respiratory symptoms, whether or not they've traveled, it's important for them to remain at home.
And tonight, some Granite State schools are taking their own precautions. SAU 65 in New London is one of them. Administrators there have requested 35 students and 7 chaperones who just returned home from a school trip to Europe to stay home until March 9th.
To just be on the safe side rather than risk anything that we could have possibly foreseen.
Superintendent Winfried Finneberg says the group spent time in Italy before continuing on to France in the UK. He stresses no one at this time has shown any signs or symptoms of being sick.
We did contact individually all the 35 parents, and I'm really thankful for their very positive response throughout. A lot of understanding why the district made the decision.
Timberlane Regional High School and Winnicott High School also had students return home this weekend from school trips in Europe. Tonight, they're asking their students not to return to school until March 16th. Again, all of this is being done out of an abundance of caution. We're live here in Concord. I'm Tim Callery, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. UNH students returning from Italy aimed coronavirus concerns. Decision made after travel advisory in Italy set to level 3. Reconsidered travel. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
At Beltates, customers will find everything they need for a building project. The brand names you trust to perform. And with a fleet of over 50 delivery vehicles, we deliver when and where our customers need them. Beltates Building Products. 9 locations throughout New Hampshire and Massachusetts.
Tim, thank you. The University of New Hampshire says it has 96 students studying abroad in Italy. They have directed those students to depart by March 5th. Arrangements are being made for those students to finish their semester online. The school is prohibiting all students from traveling to areas that federal officials have rated a level 3 risk or higher.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And New Hampshire school districts tell students returning from Italy to stay home due to coronavirus concerns. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
At Beltates, customers will find everything they need for a building project. The brand names you trust to perform. And with a fleet of over 50 delivery vehicles, we deliver when and where our customers need them. Beltates Building Products. 9 locations throughout New Hampshire and Massachusetts.
Well, this all has to do with school-sponsored trips overseas during February break. Here in New London, 35 students and 7 chaperones just returned home from a trip through Europe, including Italy. So tonight, the superintendent here is asking anyone who went on that trip to stay home until March 9th. Superintendent Winfried Finneberg says it's important to note no one on that trip is showing any signs or symptoms of being sick, and this request is just a precaution. Now, the group traveled to Italy last weekend and stayed in the Lombardy and Veneto region of the country. Finneberg says the district has been monitoring advisories from the CDC and New Hampshire Health and Human Services, and adds the March 9th return date will ensure that a 14-day time period has elapsed from the time the students left the affected region.
We did contact individually all the 35 parents, and I'm really thankful for their very positive response throughout. A lot of understanding why the district made the decision, and a lot of support for this recommendation.
Winnicott High School in Hampton is also asking students who traveled on a school-related trip to Italy to stay home until March 16th. That means they cannot participate in any school-related events, including sports and extracurricular activities. Now, Timberlane Regional is also asking its students that went on a school-related trip to Europe to stay home for 14 days as well. We're live here in New London tonight. I'm Tim Callery, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Girl Scouts in Amherst sort 12,000 cases of cookies ahead of deliveries. Funds raised help girls in their communities. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
At Beltates, customers will find everything they need for a building project. The brand names you trust to perform. And with a fleet of over 50 delivery vehicles, we deliver when and where our customers need them. Beltates Building Products. 9 locations throughout New Hampshire and Massachusetts.
Well, Girl Scout cookie season is now in full swing, and troops are out there selling their famous snacks, and now those big shipments have arrived. In Amherst, Girl Scouts sorted 1,200 cases containing over 15,000 boxes of cookies. They separated the cases for leaders to pick up and distribute to their troops. The funds raised help the girls in their communities.
All of the money that we get goes to funding a lot of different things for our troop. My troop over the summer ended up going to Canada, and we used our sales for cookies and all the stuff that we did to fundraise for that trip, and it was amazing.
Good for them. And Girl Scouts will continue selling those delicious cookies through March 30th. I could go for some Thin Mints right now.
I was going to say, that's my favorite.
Such a good one.
Hands down.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Very cool indeed. Yummy, yummy. New Hampshire Maple Month starts strong thanks to ideal weather. Production down in 2019. Strong start to current season. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Jessica Moran.
At Beltates, customers will find everything they need for a building project. The brand names you trust to perform. And with a fleet of over 50 delivery vehicles, we deliver when and where our customers need them. Beltates Building Products. 9 locations throughout New Hampshire and Massachusetts.
Maple syrup production is already off to a good start in New Hampshire.
We're running ragged. Fortunately, this year's been very early for us, so we're pretty much all tapped in. Usually, we're just starting to We're right in the middle of tapping all of our trees, which is just running wild.
This year, maple production started early thanks to ideal weather conditions. Producers say it's best when the night temperatures are in the 20s and the days are in the 40s or warmer.
We have some warm days coming, so the sap will run well. And there's some cold weather coming at the end of the week, so we're looking forward to that.
Overall, last year, maple production was down. Squirrels chewed through lines, and extremely cold weather led to a below-average year.
Up north, they didn't get started till real late, because where we had the temperature swings down here, we're warmer, we're by the coast. They didn't have the temperature swings up there. They stayed frozen until late.
It takes 40 gallons of sap to make 1 gallon of maple syrup. The sugar house at Morningstar Farm in Plaistow taps 7,000 trees with 22 miles of lines and so far has already made 150 gallons of syrup this season. Folsom Sugar House in Chester is a smaller operation with 500 trees tapped with buckets, making a productive 70 gallons to date. They're all working to make a local product people can consume and experience in person.
A lot of our customers will mention that when they come into the sugar house that they like to buy local. They're spending the money locally and the money kind of stays kind of local.
I don't care if it's 1 o'clock in the morning. If the lights are on and there's steam coming out of the roof, you're welcome to stop in.
That, or you can wait a bit when more maple producers open their doors during the 25th annual New Hampshire Maple Weekend, March 21st and 22nd. Jessica Moran, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Dow features indicate opening gain of more than 200 points in turbulent session. Stock features recovered from an earlier tumble on Sunday night as investors shrugged off concerns around the coronavirus outbreak. American Airlines and Delta canceling all flights to Milan. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
The growing travel danger as coronavirus cases jump and all those canceled flights. Americans urged to cancel or reconsider travel plans to Europe and Asia. The Louvre Museum in Paris, a magnet for international travelers, shut down today over virus concerns. 130 new cases in that country, a nearly 80% increase in a single day. ABC Stephanie Ramos has more.
Tonight, American Airlines and Delta canceling all flights to Milan as cases in Italy spike. This after the Trump administration implemented the highest travel advisory to regions of Italy and South Korea. The administration also announcing screenings overseas.
The president's also directed the State Department to coordinate a screening, a medical screening, in their countries of any individuals that are coming in to the United States of America.
But today, President Trump adding in a tweet, they will also be screened when they arrive in America. Cases of coronavirus keep mounting. In Italy, they've almost doubled in 24 hours, with more than 1,600 people now infected. 34 have died. Today, St. Mark's Square in Venice is almost deserted. And in Rome, a church closed after a priest was diagnosed. The Pope making his first public appearance since getting a cold 4 days ago. He coughed while greeting worshipers from his balcony. He's now canceling his upcoming trip, although there is no indication his symptoms are linked to the coronavirus. The famed Louvre in Paris shuttered today, the museum staff fearing visitors might expose them. That country seeing a nearly 80% increase in patients with the virus, with 130 people testing positive. In Japan, a marathon that usually has tens of thousands of participants had just a few hundred runners, a staggering difference from last year.
All right, Stephanie Ramos joins us live from Newark now. Stephanie, they've been screening passengers from China for the last month. Any word on when they will start with passengers coming from parts of Italy or South Korea?
Tom, they have not announced when those screenings will start, but a number of travelers coming in from Italy have told ABC News they were surprised there was no screening when they arrived here. Tom.
Stephanie Ramos for us. Stephanie, thank you.
Hi. Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that does it for this morning edition of the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. There's other news report coming up in a little bit. Goodbye, everyone.